Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Welcome, good afternoon.
On the African Portal Radio TV, South Africa, Pretoria, here in South Africa. We welcome you all to our live broadcast on the African Portal Radio TV, here in Pretoria, South Africa. So I welcome you all to my program. From South Africa, we say Dumela, Saubonani. We say Bonjour in another part of the African country. We say Abarisa Muchana in Uganda. We say Hello in Haiti and the likes. We greet everybody. Also, we say in Morocco, in Egypt, we say Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Also in Nigeria, we say Odema, we say Eka Sao. I hear everybody. So we welcome you live to the African Portal Radio TV, situated in Pretoria, South Africa. Today, so we are going to have our guest all the way from Nigeria. I think everybody can see. You can go to our page, the African Portal Radio TV, on Facebook. You can check it on YouTube, the African Media House on YouTube. You can subscribe to our page on YouTube. Also, you can like and share our page on Facebook, the African Portal Radio TV, South Africa. We welcome you all to our weekly program on African Voice. So, whereby we engage people from different parts of the country in Africa. Today, we're going to have our guest, an important personnel from Nigeria. So, he remains one of the greatest friend, one of the greatest educationists. Is as an educationist in Nigeria. He's also a proprietor, he's an entrepreneur. So he's the owner of a school in Nigeria, private school in Nigeria, and many more. So engaging him live on the African Portal Radio TV this afternoon, as is live now on African Portal Radio TV. So you can watch us, you can like our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can watch us live now as we start the program. I will be using this medium to talk about our guest. His name remains Murtadho, that is Malam Murtadho Abdusalam Adeniji. So he's from IBADAN. So as we rightly know, Malam Murtadho Adeniji Abdusalam is the proprietor of HUDALLAHI Islamic Foundation School, DOOGO COMPUND, OLUYORO of IBADAN. Oyo State, Nigeria. So he's the one that we are engaging now. So we'll be engaging on his lifestyles, everything about him. We want to know details about the school, about what he has achieved as the proprietor of the HUDALLAHI Foundation School in Ibadan. And the likes, then we want to know the impact of private education in Nigeria as a case study. So those are the questions that we'll be posing to our guest speaker for today. So I welcome you all. If you are watching us live on the African Portal Radio TV, I say welcome to our radio station. Also, I'm welcoming our guest for today. So in person of Malam Murtadho Adeniji Abdusalam. Can you help us to greet everybody watching you live now?
I greet everyone all over the world that are listening to this program. I say good afternoon, good morning. I believe in some area we are in the morning. There are some part of the country we are in the night. So you are welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that is our brother, our proprietor from Nigeria, the person of Mala Murtadho Adeniji Abdusalam. So you'll be surprised when I said, when you hear my intro, that I played Haruna Isola. You know, being an African man, we must cherish our culture. We must not forget because of our foreign initiation or our foreign integration. So we shouldn't forget our culture. We are from Yoruba land. So anything that comes with that. So that is the purpose of this, and the mission of African Portal Radio TV is to propagate and to develop the culture, the African culture in the world. So that is why we came out with that song that from our elder, that is Baba Haruna Isola. So just to make us to remember our roots, where we come from. So we are not from America, we are not from Egypt, we are not from Britain, but we are from Nigeria, we are from Africa. So we focus on the African culture and many more. So if I should be asking you, as I've rightly said, that Malam Murtadho Adeniji Abdusalam is the proprietor of HIFS, which means HUDALLAHI Islamic Foundation School at DOOGO Compound, OLUYORO, OFFA, IBADAN, Nigeria. So if I should, that's our guest for today. So I'll be trying to go, because of our time, we'll be discussing about who is Malam Murtadho Adeniji. If I should be asking that question, our guest.
I seek refuge in Almighty God, who has made it possible for us to conduct this program this afternoon in Nigeria and all other parts of the country. So I am Malam Adeniji Abdusalam, an educationist, a teacher by profession. I'm also a proprietor and a religion leader. My purpose is to have positive impact on people, especially the youth. I believe one thing in my life, that when I came to this world, I came with nothing. And I want to impart a lot of knowledge that when I left this service of the arts, people will not forget who Murtadho Abdusalam is through the inculcating of knowledge and understanding to the youth. So that is Murtadho Abdusalam.
Okay, thank you very much for that exclusive introduction. So if that should be the case, that you want to impart the knowledge, somebody who wants to impart the knowledge, then we must know about where he came from, his background, his lifestyles, how he grew up. So, everybody will not just come to this world without a background, without growing up from a place. So, how was your growing up look like, if I may ask you, Malam Murtadho?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. I was born into the Alhaji Adeneji's family in Oje compound, Yemetu Adeoyo, Ibadan, Oyo State in Nigeria in 1980.
Okay.
So I attended St. Paul Primary School, Yemetu, between 1986 and 1990. So before I gain admission or I proceed my secondary school education into St. Patrick uh, Grammar School in Basharun, also in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Here, before that, I will have a wonderful childhood. So I and my two brothers, then a sister with my mom and dad. So we are together. Actually, I wasn't came out from the rich family, but my parents tried their best to put food on the table for every one of us, and they make sure we have the knowledge of Western education without leaving the Islamic education. So we study I study Islamic education and Western education. So after my junior secondary school in St. Patrick, so I proceed to Bishop Philip Academy between 1996 and 99, where I have my SSCE. I did not stop. So my mother pulled his shoulder together to make sure that I attend higher institution. So as Allah will have it, I attended Federal College of Education Special Oyo between year 2001 and 2004. I studied primary education study, so stroke special education on hearing impaired. So in 2004, I later proceed my degree so into West Africa Junior University in Cotonou, where I have BA in adult education. So inshallah, so that is my educational background. So I did not stop here. I also studied Islamic education. So alongside with Western education, I went to Ali Mubarak, so school, Arabic school at OLUYORO, OFFA. So I also learned from a lot of scholars when we are talking about Islamic education. Thank you very much.
Okay, if I should, I won't let you go on that aspect. When you say you started from Yemetu, you have been born in an area of your compound, Yemetu, then you
Yeah,
moved from that place, proceeded to St. Patrick. After St. Patrick,
yeah.
you came to Bishop Phillips. I think something very interesting happened to you in Bishop Phillips. Can you just tell us what life was when you were in Bishop Phillips Academy?
I thank God, and I can never regret for being a student of that school. Because when I was in St. Patrick, I'm not so easy then. So I nearly mingled with some students disturbing the class. I'm a ringleader then when I was in St. Patrick. So I brought that thing from St. Patrick to Bishop Philip, whereby most of the students now, we call them school two students. Those are the people that don't normally attend the class. So I was named then, they gave me nickname, More Money. So this More Money is one of the title of a music from Tupac then. So that is my name then. Before Allah now change Murtadho Abdusalam to a good person. So I learn a lot. So in Bishop Lee Academy, I was changed totally to a good man. So I can never forget that school. And a lot of people that I met in that school made me what I am today. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, maybe I should also pose a question like this: that in that school you
You are
said
welcome.
it changed you Bishop Academy.
Yes.
Bishop Phillips Academy changed your life. Maybe I should ask you
Yes.
this question: that what really changed your life in Bishop Phillips Academy, or should I say, who really changed your life, or which thing that changed your life in Bishop Phillips Academy?
Yes. I was changed to a good person when I entered Bishop Academy. So when I entered Bishop Academy, I met means Muslim Student Society of Nigeria. So
Hello?
then I was called. I
Okay.
was called to the member of MSSN, Muslim Student Society of Nigeria. Then I
Okay.
have invited to their program. So I listened to their lecture, whereby the person that anchored the program now is also part of the people that changed my life. So as we
Okay.
entered the school, I was made as Amir then, that is the vice president of Muslim Student Society of Nigeria in that particular school. You know, when you call somebody vice president of Muslim students in that area, so you are expected the person to be of good character. You must able to speak, you must able to know ahead of other students, because you are going to face a lot of challenges. If you have any issue with the student, with other teachers, you have to go to the principal or go to the authority to report. If you are not sound very well,
Hmm.
you will not be welcome. So do more in order to change my better, to meet the situation I met myself in Bishop Academy. Another thing is that most of the people that I met there, they are very knowledgeable, they are very talented. So you have no option. So if you can never be there, you have to join them. I joined the people and I can never regret it.
Hmm. That's nice. That's good. So after leaving Bishop Phillips, that served as the changing model of your life, then you went to Federal College of Education, Special Oyo. So what was your impact in that place? I think he has lost the contact. Let's just call straight now. So what I was saying is that after leaving school, after Bishop Phillips Academy, then you proceeded to Federal College of Education. Uh, let's continue our program because we're still expecting our guests to come online. So if you're part of the program, please kindly like our Facebook page, program, then you go to our YouTube page, so subscribe the African Portal Media House. On Facebook, that is the African, as we are discussing with Malam Murtadho Abdusalam Adeniji. Let's listen to this.
Where qualitative knowledge is imparted through the qualified and experienced teachers to the learners in a conducive environment at DOOGO's compound, OLUYORO, OFFA, IBADAN. Oyo State, Nigeria, they offer the following: correct nursery education, primary education, college, Islamic education, Quranic education, computer studies, vocational training, and extracurricular activities. The registration is in progress at the school's premises for further inquiry. Call them on 0810101056, 0810101056, or 08054224972. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. HUDALLAHI Islamic Foundation School is the best.
That was from Hudallahi Islamic Foundation School, Oluyoro. IBADAN, Oyo State, Nigeria. So that was their advert. So if you have your pupils, I mean your children, so you want them to learn knowledge, both Western education and Islamic education, and they go to their school premises and register your kids there. So welcome back. My proprietor of HUDALLAHI Islamic Foundation, in person of Malam Murtadho Adeniji. I welcome you back. So, in order to continue, I was asking a question before we went on break. So, we're discussing about you proceeding from Bishop Village down to Federal College of Education or you're studying primary education. So, what was the life in Federal College of Education as one of the member, the active member when you left Bishop, then you went to uh, Federal College of Education? What was life look like in the campus?
All praise due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The good ambassador that have been created, or that the Bishop Lee are going to Bishop Lee Academy have impact in me. So I took it to Federal College of Education. So as I gained admission to the school, so immediately I was also appointed as Amir MSSN once again, Afijo local government. Also the class representative in my department, primary education study. We are over 200 then. So I've been the number one in that department. Not only that, I work hard, I face my study, whereby I become the honorable at SUG level in my department. Also, I have a chamber then, whereby I solicit and fight for the right of the students. So in the college, when we are in the college. Later, I also become the chairman of Jihad Week. So in that College of Education. So we did a lot, especially for the Muslim students then. So there are a lot of rights being deprived by the authority. So during my stay in College of Education, so we work hard. So Allah be our assistant then. So likewise, so I'm very popular in that school. They changed my name from bad name, Osama bin Laden, when I was in the Soviet Academy. They now they changed my name from more money to Osama bin Laden. You know Osama bin Laden? So some people believe he's a terrorist, but to we Muslims, not a terrorist. So there was a lecturer now. He's now a professor, Mr. Wale then. So name me Osama bin Laden. Give me that nickname, Osama bin Laden, before of activeness. So participating in MSS is not easy at all. So, but doesn't affect our Western education. So I didn't go to the board or department to check my results. People do check my results for me. So because my matric number is 10828. All the student department in my department knows my matric number. So I did not worry. I believe if I fail, so more than 180 students have failed. I know I could never fail. And during my stay in college, I did not rerun any
Okay. I think the signal is fluctuating. Yeah. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Okay. So as our guest was talking about
Albert Einstein once said, everybody his whole life believing that It is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have Moling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots, do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish? Swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come, no more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement, and if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it. Proceed. Exhibit A. Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today. And here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Get this. Here's a classroom of today. And here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now ain't that a shame? In little more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you are...
Yeah. So if you could hear that, that is the title is I Sued the School System. So he's talking about the school student, that is Prince Ihe. So he was discussing about the school system in the world, not even in Africa, and the world. So that something must be changed, something must be reviewed in the school system, especially in African countries. So we need to change the way schools are being run, the curriculum in schools, and the way we run our schools in Africa. We must change it. So it's like we need to fix it. We need to change it to meet our immediate environment we belong to. So we can't be teaching kids something that he doesn't even see around him. So we need to teach them what they can relate with in their environment. So welcome back, Madam Murtadho Adeniji. As you were saying before you left, so you were discussing about your performance and your activities in Federal College of Education, Special Oyoda, being a leader, I mean, under Student Union, being a leader under Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, it didn't affect your performance as a student of that school. So if that should be the case, it means this one is kind of something that must be encouraged within us among our students in Africa. That either you belong to a society, I mean a social group or pressure group in a school, it doesn't affect your educational performance as far as you concentrate on what you are to do in that school. So thank you for giving us that magnitude explanation about what you went through when you were in school. I think, do you still have more to say on that?
Yes, yes. So when I want to have the second teaching practice. So
Okay.
my performance assisted me then to be posted to Niger State School for the Handicapped Boso. So not every student the college can send to that school except the exceptional one. And I'm the one that led more than 20 students, that is teaching practice students to that school that year. Also, we create a lot of things when we were in school. So we created tutorial class for the freshers. So a lot of orientation for them so that when they enter school, they will not feel that they are freshers. So we assist them a lot, assist them then a lot in registration and some other things. We also make sure that all our students, especially the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, the members, so we assist them, we teach them in tutorial, so that they will not involve in an examination malpractices. So during stay in our college, so as a member, I have never seen one of our member being captured by the authority as examination malpractices, whatever. So those are the activities we did when I was in Federal College of Education. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I thought then after that, after leaving Federal College of Education Special Oyo, so I think the next stage was going for your course, or what happened between that leaving Federal College of Education, what were the struggles you encountered during, I mean, between the getting out of the College of Education and going to your university to study a program in that university, like you said, adult education in that West African university. What life, or what did you experience between that period of time?
Oh, as a student, so a good student must have one experience or the other, unless he doesn't know what he went to study, went to in the school. Uh, I left NCE in 2004, and I obtained form for degree in West Africa Union University in year 2013. So can you see the range? So it doesn't mean I don't want to study, but it's because of financial constraint. I have to work. So I establish my school, spend a lot of money to make it a standard one. So, but when I'm facing challenge as a school owner, so you that want to control the school, you want to be the owner, you want to be an educationist, you must have enough knowledge, more than the teacher, more than the personnel you are going to employ in that school. Those things instigate me that I have to study more. So that is why I apply for this degree.
Hmm. All right. So before you go to that aspect, so maybe, are you still with me?
So
So, okay, as we are going, hello? Okay, I think the signal. Hello, are you still there with me?
continue.
So maybe doing somehow from his end. So he was trying to explain to us that before the duration between leaving teachers college before engaging in his degree program. So he tried to establish a school as an educationist because he was what students used to think of when you went to teachers college was that at the end of it, you should be able to have your own school. It's part of the thing being taught in school that it would be nice to have your own private school that is going to be taking care of what you learned in school. Yeah, Madam Murtado, my question would be like, what motivated you to think of establishing a private school? If I should ask that question.
Uh, when I was in secondary school, so my aim is to become an accountant. You know, as a commercial student now, we know nothing than accounting. I studied accounting and become an accountant in bank. So that was my aim. But immediately I left school in 1999. So I was employed as a teacher. You know, I told you I came from a very poor family. So I was unable to get form or to proceed my education. Then I have to work a little. So when I get to that school, they now asked me to go and write lesson notes. Lesson notes. Is there anything called lesson note? They said there is. As we go and write, I just form a note myself without being follow the protocol. So,
Okay.
and somebody that is not even older than me just rubbish my write up. What I believe it is okay by me was zero. Even if there is something minus 0, so the woman, and the person happened to be the woman, and I asked the woman, if I want to write, what motivates you? Where did you get this knowledge? He said, if you want to have this kind of knowledge, you have to study education. To study education. That is number one. So number two is that I was being a man in that school. I was given nursery 2, the students of 3 years of age, that should go and teach them. Whereby I believe I should be taken to the higher class. So they now ask me, I don't have this knowledge, the prerequisite knowledge I have to have about the education. Whatever I brought here, if I didn't study education, I will not be able to take the higher class. So I should be managing the lower class. That's the second challenge I faced. So the third thing that made me study education is that a child was brought. This child has to be a learning disability. So don't forget that I went to college, Federal College of Education. So it's only when I get there that I believe these students have this kind of challenges. So it's a learning disability. So they brought it to me and they give it to me that I should be taking care of the pupil with a couple of maybe 2 or 3 terms. So this boy changed. So this thing now made me to ask the proprietor of the school, which happened to be one of the lecturer in the Federal College of Education. I want to study this education. So help me to obtain the form. And the person, I gave the money to him, part of my salary. So I gave it to him and helped me to obtain the form, and I later secured the admission.
So that's what motivated you to think of establishing a private school.
Yes, because I believe this parent. I believe there are a lot of parents that wanted their pupils to go for private school, but they don't have money. This particular parent that brought its challenge disability child to this school, she doesn't have this money, but she find all the means, and the life of that boy changed. And I have it in mind. If I have my own school, that is why I call it HUDALLAHI Foundation. It's a foundation school, not just ordinary school. It's a school that we have passion for the parents, for the less privileged. So I have 2 things for them. Then that I will charge them low. That is number 1. Number 2 is that they will be paying this money instrumentally, so that those who are market women, so there are a lot of them that are paid daily, some are paid weekly, some are paid monthly. So those are the things. I can never tell my proprietor then another school owner to be doing this. It's only if I can do it myself. I cannot preach it for any other school. That's why I believe I should establish I should learn this thing. When I learn education, I studied education, I was able to have my own school. All this aim will become true.
That's nice. That was a great motivation. Now, if after establishing a school, you will face a lot of challenges, either from school environment, or from parents, or from families, or from friends and the likes. What are the challenges you faced during the establishment of the schools?
The establishment of the school is not easy at all. It's only Almighty God that can make it easy for anyone. So no proprietor, especially in Africa. So I'm talking about Nigeria, where I am today, can boast that he is easy at all. It's not easy because I'm part of them. I face a lot of challenges. Number 1 is parental orientation. Most of these parents, they don't have orientation at all. When we started this school, so I started in a rented apartment with a plank. Some of the parents believe that when you see gigantic building with fence, with flower, it doesn't make your student be a brilliant one. It's only what they are imparting in that school. even learning can take place in under the tree. Most of the parents now, they rate us low because of that plan. What we're supposed to achieve in a year took us more than a year before we can achieve it. But later, another thing is that the privilege. Most of them doesn't know that there is difference between rights and privilege. The privilege being given to them that they should pay this money instrumentally is mostly ruin our business. So most of them, they will just owing us instead of paying this amount, they will use for ceremonial things. So all things are there. So you may see in the paper you are expecting certain amounts. At the end of the term, you not seeing that amount. You just seen it in paper. So they will own you. Another thing is the environmental problem. Government problem is also there. So government doesn't see us as partner. We are doing favor in advanced country. The government are giving private school money. They are motivating them. We private school in Africa, we are paying government, and this one is not good at all. So there are two things we are doing for government that they don't know. Number one, let's assume you cancel all the private school in Nigeria. Which of these for government school, the public one, can accommodate this kind of children? They don't have it. Number two, in my school now, I have up to 15 staffs. 15 staff. I have more than 15 of them. In my local government, we have more than 4,000 staff being employed in this private school. This is part of the government. We are helping them. So they are now putting a lot of money on private school. This one is killing education. There are a lot of people, instead of giving the quality education, because of the subsidy money the government has been placed on them, they are able to discharge the quality education. They are just doing it for them to just eat, to have their living. This education they want to practice, the government didn't encourage them to do so. So those are the challenges we are facing.
I think we'll still talk better on that aspect, because if you see in some of the developed countries, what they do is that if you have a private school, you have to be financed. There are some certain percentage being given to you by federal government. Yeah, so they finance the education because they know that they are going to have their own share from that. If the education is well imparted into the life of the learners, they are going to be useful in that society. But if government fails to do this, it's going to create a problem in that society. That is why you see a good society is when the learners are being taught with sound and qualitative education. That is where you find a conducive environment. So government must just try to see to that aspect of financing or giving them a little grant to support private school. So let's move to another issue. No, you have told me about the challenges being faced, financial challenges, parental orientation, then environmental factor of the school. Also, what are your achievements related to the establishment of that school? What are your achievements?
There is nothing have advantage that we not have disadvantage. We achieve a lot, but I will just mention few. Number one, so my aim, so before I went to the College of Education was established. That is to have a private school for myself. That is number one achievement. So after this, one of our achievement is that I want the less privileged parents to have their own words in private school, and I've done that by charging them low and giving them the privilege of paying instrumentally. So that is number two. Then we always create the courage into the heart of our students that they can make it without any assistance in the exam. So we let them know that examination malpractices so is corruption, is part of corruption. So in our school now, from the basic class up to the college, so whenever they want to do the exam, so when the primary one sits, GSS1 may sit beside him. So at his back, you will find GSS2. Another back, you see basic 3. So you cannot contact anybody. In some school, they are able to do this. Even in part of the school that I've been a teacher before I established my own school, there was a particular school that the proprietor will tell us that if you have any question, either the pupil talk or not, answer the question or not, you must give him 40 marks out of 100. They are padding their mark. You parents will be seeing 100. You'll be seeing 90 over 100. It's a lie. They are just doing that in order to promote their school. So I cannot do that. If a student score 10 over 100, I will score him or her 10 over 100. That is an achievement. So because the certificate I have in my hand, I did not cheat. I did not involve in any examination malpractice. I know what Almighty Allah says about it. So, and I want these students to be a God-fearing student. Another achievement is that when you are saying you are running private school, you are running private, there is private school, there is private school. I'm able to obtain certificates from the state government, that is approval. So all what the government needs before you have been given approval was placed in order. So we get this approval in 2015 and we are still maintaining it. So another achievement is that I used to tell people that we are not the best. You know, in some private school, we are the best in Africa. That song does not exist in my school. Our slogan is, we are not the best, but we are among the best. So let me put it again. We are not the best, but we are among the best. So we attended a lot of competition. So we met some big schools, and my students, they are lagged behind. They are used to be in the front seats. So I thank God for that. It's an achievement. Also, there are a lot of a lot of citizens that been employed. So most of them, they are getting their little things, and they used to feed their family. If not, so where they will be now. So those are the little I can say about the achievements.
Okay, thank you very much. We really appreciate that, because in a community or in an environment where there is school, there are a lot of things that surrounds that school. I mean, people, the life of people in that environment, it depends on that school. Because I mean, standard of living of those who are in that environment depends on that school. Student going to school, student buying things, buying
Yes.
buying writing materials and the likes, teachers working in the
Stationaries.
school, even the cleaners. So even the cleaners, they get, that's why I say they depend. Community we situate the school into depend on the school too. So thank you for that, for the achievement, and I wish you more of it in life. So my other question is, I read your citation and other things. I noticed I saw one of your picture where you put on this man o' war uniform. So do you belong to man o' war in Nigeria? I can see picture you
Uh,
a soldier.
yes.
Do you belong
I'm
to
a
that
member.
organization?
Yes. I'm a
Okay.
member of
Yeah.
Manowa Nigeria, OAC Command, Oyo State, Nigeria.
Oh,
So I am superintendent, Supo. So we are talking about Manowa Nigeria. So it's not for it's for nothing, but for to increase. It's a selfless work. You know, they are in my area, even in Nigeria. So no doubt in that. there are a lot of pothole. So we just come out as a member of manual. We have our digger and some other things. We fill the pothole. Then whenever we see the traffic, we control the traffic. I put on my uniform, I control the traffic. And we also assist the vigilante. So we are also assist when they have the party and some hoodlums want to destroy the party, we come out in uniform. So because we are trained, that's what I trained for. So I am member of Man One Nigeria State Command.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. So we can now get it there. Being a proprietor, it doesn't affect a selfless service to the community
Yes,
we belong to. At least people
yes,
must expect something from us, not only the school that you establish, you still engage yourself. You bring yourself down to the service of the community to take care of the security aspect and the social aspect in the community. So kudos to you for
yes.
that. Then the next question I will ask to Caleb is, well, what are your reasons for joining all these organizations? I mean, you have mentioned part of that of manual. So let's come to that of MSSN. So
Yeah,
because I noticed that you're one of the big fish in the MSSN, I mean Muslim Student Society of Nigeria in Ibadan. So can you tell me more about that?
MSSN was established in 1954. So by our forefather. So there some of them are late now. So blessed memory. For those of them that are alive, may Allah increase them in knowledge and understanding of Islam. So this is to impart Islamic knowledge. So including the Western education, because when I say MSSN, Muslim students, you cannot do without education. When we're talking about MSS, so you must be a land person. So I joined the secondary school, as I told you, from Bishop Lee Academy. So till then up to date. So I'm the director of study, Ibadan Central Branch. So before I became the director of study, I have been two-term Amir for a local government, Lagelu Area Council. Even when I was in college, and Amir Abiju local government, Nabil Amir Federal College of Education. So there are a lot of things, activities that are being engaged in these MSS. So what this thing is, what the society is doing for us is to guide us aright, especially when we are in the society we find ourselves. If you don't involve yourself in listening to lecture the word of Allah, so no matter you are, whatever you are, you may later find yourself astray. Satan may deal with you. So when you listen to lecture, so you want to go to astray, so you come back immediately you listen to the lecture. So that is that.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We really appreciate that. So, what if you look at this as we are talking about private education in Nigeria? Because we know Africa, so we have a lot of challenges facing us in Africa. How can we
Yes.
change or improve education system in Nigeria? What is your own view on that?
Number one, governments have to fully involve in the establishment of the school. They shouldn't allow just anybody to establish the school. And the one that has been established have to be thoroughly monitored. There are a lot of schools, they are not school at all. Go to some schools, they are using a teacher for 3-4 classes. The parents are just looking for just my words, my children, to put on private school uniform, go out around 7:30 and come back 3 o'clock. That is the education to them. So the government will have a full involved. There are a lot of things that they have to do before allow anybody to establish school in Nigeria and even part of the world. Also, the one we have established, including my school, has to be thoroughly monitored. So when they are sending their people to go and check this private school, they should monitor them. so that they will not be collecting bribe. There are a lot of schools that they have to withdraw their certificate being given because what the certificate they are being given, they are not worth that certificate. They are just made for business, not to impart knowledge in the society at all. So everything is in part of the government. Thank you.
All right. So if you should look at that aspect, so you mentioned, because I used to say something as an
Yeah.
educationist that we have cheaters and we have teachers. So there are some people, they don't have this prerequisite knowledge of establishing the school because they have money, they can just establish a school. No, it shouldn't
Yes.
be. The government must look at that aspect to that. No, just anybody can just establish a school. It must be okay. Maybe you are from an educational aspect or whatever, or your partner want to establish it. It must have something related to education. You can't just come and just build a school and say because you have money. So it won't all go where if government doesn't go through all those aspects. So we need to check. That is, the government
So
needs to focus on that. They must.
another
Yeah.
thing, another thing is that when we are talking about private school, we are calling government now to monitoring them. What of their own school?
Yeah.
So I put it to you when we met one of the commissioner for education in part of the state then. When they want to approve a school now, a private school, if government want to approve a private school now, there are a lot of things they will tell you to go and do. You go and make your classroom be tidy, tiles all the floor, have the electrical sets, have the water and some other thing. And none of their school have all those things they are talking about. They should increase the resources being given to their public school, and they have to monitor it, because all the little they are being given to maintain the public school is diverting to other personal purse by the educational monitoring group. So when you go to their own school now, so you are going to pity them for what they have been doing. So thank you.
Yeah, determine success in life. Education.
Yes.
Does it determine success?
No, not at all. Education doesn't determine success. But if you want to enjoy your success, you must be educated. It doesn't determine it, but it's part of it. You will enjoy your success more if you have education. If you don't have education, you will not enjoy that success.
Now, what's your view about how do you do not do anything currently?
Pardon? Pardon, I can't hear you.
Okay, what I'm saying is that what is your own view about those people that didn't go to school and they are making it in the society? Are we not to
The network is not good, madam. Hello?
hello? This is your time. Maybe we should go
Hello?
and we continue.
I cannot hear you anymore again.
Foundation school is registered private service provider by the college. He has been recruited for experienced teachers to the learners in the environment of Doogos compound of IBADAN. Healthcare Nigeria is one of nursery education primary Islamic education, memorization, computer studies, vocational training, and extracurricular activities. The registration is in progress at the school's premises. For further inquiry, call them on 08 1010 100756, 08 1010 100756, or 0805 4224972. 08054224972. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. HUDALLAHI Islamic Foundation School is the best.
So that was the advert being paid for by the part of HUDALLAHI Foundation, Islamic Foundation School, OLUYORO, IBADAN. So if you have other schools, if you want to advertise your schools, if you want us to showcase your school performance and your you want to come on a live show for reality show like this, then you can contact us on our numbers being written on the screen of our radio station, so you can get in touch with us on that phone number, so to reach us so that we can engage you on a live show on the African Portal Radio TV, South Africa. Welcome back, my Malam Murtadho, the proprietor of HUDALLAHI Islamic Foundation School, DOOGO, IBADAN. Now, because we don't have much time to waste, we just have less than 2 minutes to round off all the program. So the last question that I will ask you is, okay, what would be your advice? Oh, the one I was asking you before we went on a break was that if you look at the situation in Nigeria now, I'm taking Nigeria as a case study, whereby you see most of the uneducated people becoming so rich in the society, whereby those who went to school, even colleges, the university, the poly, they are nowhere to be found. So they are the servant of those people. What is your feel on that?
The government have been trying their best. So by doing what they call TRCN, Teacher Registration Councils, now they have been given a number to each school, where the school will be the owner of a particular number. So it's going to fill the form. All the teachers in the school has to fill the form. The government wants to know either they are being registered or not. Presently in Nigeria now, if you don't study the education, so there will be year to come now, so you'll not be able to teach either in public or private school, or else you have to go and study have an educational background, so or unregistered with TRCN, Teacher Registration Council. So that is what the government are doing now. So they want to fix those who are not in education field. They want to feed them out. So that's what they are doing. I pray it's successful.
Okay. So the second to the last question was that you are a graduate. I am a graduate.
Yeah.
And we see another person who doesn't even attend the school. He didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
Then maybe through other politician and other things, he made his money. And you work under him. What is your own view on that? How will you feel? Will you not feel that why am I wasting my time? Why am I wasting my 4 years or 7 years of education?
I can never regret because of the just because of money. So I didn't study my education in order to get money or to be in a particular post. My own is to impart knowledge into the people, especially the youngest one. So seeing him up without being a knowledgeable doesn't give me a setback on what I've learned, or else I will still study back, because there will be a time that we need a particular person that have education. If I don't have it, then so we'll have to go there and starting study the education. So it's not possible then. So I can never regret it. So and there will be a time, most of them will need us. So they are there. There are a lot of a particular thing. If they are collecting money 50% will be given to their education courses. Can never have it all. So an interview like this can be given to them. They will not be able to do. They will pay me. They will pay
Do that for them.
you out of the money they are collecting.
All right. So in order to round it up, I will just ask you your advice, parents and government.
Before I just want to firstly advise the youth, especially the younger one, that they should not allow anybody to use them. So especially against the government or their community. So they should focus on their education. So they should not inform themselves. What they don't have today, when they finish their education, have their certificate, I'm sure they are going to have it tomorrow. Their time will come. So that is for the youth. For the parents, so they should have it in mind that they are going to give quality and sound education to their children, not because of today, but because of tomorrow. So most of the parents that doesn't involve in social activities, so please stop all these things and spend all those money on the education of their children. So to have a good ends. So that is for the parents. And also to support
Hello?
the
Okay. Change the signal. Hello? Okay. As our guest is breaking, the network is breaking from his own end. So he was trying to
for the
advise the youth to focus on their education, also the government, also the parents, that they should not be spending money unnecessarily on something that is not necessary. The money must be spent on their wards and make their kids so that they can achieve their educational success in life. So the last one is about the government. The government should try to focus on education and try to put everybody life. I mean, try to encourage the people in the society to be educated. I think with this, everything will be okay with us in Nigeria, in Africa, and the world, because education is the key to liberate us life. The information in Africa. Where can you get the information? If you are not educated, you cannot get that key, that information. If you are not educated, you cannot get the fact about life, about the issue in life. If you are not educated, you can't know in life. So with this, so we'll come to the end of our program, whereby we'll just make sure that the life we are living, we must try to encourage our people. Let us get to know about the life we live, spend our life. So I remain yours, Kumo Africa. Until next week, that we are going to meet again. Africa is my focus, and I hope so that Africa is your focus. Bye for now.
èdè tàbí àṣà sinimá nípa ilẹ̀ àgbọ̀ ká gbé ètò tọ̀ láti lè jẹ́ kí ayé mọ pọ́tà ibùdó sinimá àgbéléwò àti àwọn ẹ̀bùn nípa ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ bí wọ́n ti ń bá ní ya fọ́tò àríyá pẹpẹ ètò tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ lábẹ́ ìdarí Joshua Dáre Olùsàn akọ́tì fún tẹ̀dọ̀ àṣà Yorùbá kábàánì àwòrán àwọn ẹ̀bùn lọ́kùnjọ̀kan tó jẹ́ ti ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ bákan náà wọ́n léwájú èèyàn láti ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí àwọn ibùdó ìgbafẹ́ tó wà káàkiri ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Òdú ni Joshua Dáre Olùsàn kì í ṣe àmọ̀ fúlùkù àìmọye àmì ẹ̀yẹ nípa tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú àgbélárugẹ tèdè tàṣálẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. African Portal ẹ kàn sí wọn lójú òpó ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ +2784248338 tàbí +277870333584. African Portal fún ìfìdímúlẹ̀ ohun gbogbo tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀.